The budget is a multi-page document with lots and lots of details to it. But our job as Republicans who were elected to change the way government works need to focus like a laser on the big three issues that are in the budget, the things that will determine how our economy does in the future and how our citizens are able to live their lives in Maine and prosper. First is to reduce the tax burden, to encourage entrepreneurs to invest in the state of Maine, to provide jobs so that then people can pay a fair amount of taxes to pay for the services that only government can provide, like roads, bridges, education. Secondly, we need to get under control the Department of Health and Human Services and get more people to work in this state, to get them off from welfare and onto workfare. We have over 300,000 people in the state of Maine receiving some form of assistance. That's 1 in every 4 people in the state of Maine. We simply cannot afford that anymore. And third, we need to get under control the unfunded liability piece in the pension system, which has become too expensive for us to support. If we are to continue to fund the unfunded liability system using the old way of doing things, in 2028, when that has to all be paid off, between now and then, all of the increases in income to the state of Maine will have to go towards paying that unfunded liability. There will be nothing more for roads. There will be nothing more for education. We'll be spending the same amount in 2028 on education as we are today. Everyone knows that's not possible, so we need to get the unfunded liability under control. So while the budget has many issues in it and is very broad, there are 3 important issues that I've just outlined that we're targeting and that we have to get under control in order for this state to move forward. I think one of the things that we were very afraid of going into this session was that education would be short-funded or that education would take a big hit. There are cuts to education because the federal money has dried up, but the governor's portion of the state funds for GPA, the education, are actually increased over what they were last year. And higher education is flat funded, so there is no reduction in the higher education budget for the university and the Maine Maritime and the community colleges, something that I don't think we expected. I think we thought all the different departments would all take hits. And in the past, it's been common to reduce everyone's budget by a small piece. This time, I think the governor has targeted more specifically where he wants to cut, and education is one of the things that he and I and our caucus think is essential to moving Maine forward. The Appropriations Committee now has been working on that budget and having public hearings for about a month. They are now in the process of hearing back from the policy committees about specific issues in specific policy areas, be it education or health and human services. The legislature is going to work very hard to craft a budget that accomplishes pretty much what the governor had in mind. I think his budget was very good in the beginning. There are always tweaks that are done to the governor's budget when the legislature gets its hands on it, but at the end of the day, we will have a budget that's very recognizable as a Republican budget that the governor put forward that we will enact.